Guys, it has taken me a long time to admit this. Sometimes I'm agnostic, sometimes I'm atheist, and I have a few points to get through today on this specific video, and I just ask that you listen with an open mind, and I ask that, I want this space to be non-judgmental, but then also I welcome different opinions as well, as long as it comes from a place of understanding. So one of the things that I've come across is the first thing that I wanted to address is why my beliefs don't fit neatly into one label. The reason that is the case is because I have never been someone who fits into one box. I really am not someone who fits in easily in general. And so when it comes to like my beliefs, how I view the world, how I see things, it's never been like 100% crystal clear. Or, I've always felt like there's a duality to things. So I've really struggled when it comes to like beliefs. And I think for me, obviously I was raised Christian, grew up in a Christian household. I'm Nigerian, so you know how that goes. I was mostly brought up Pentecostal Christian, and really and truly I enjoyed a lot of aspects of it. Like I enjoyed the choir, singing, things like that. But in 2020, there was a period of time that I was having like a lot of questions, doubts, and this came from when I would question specific leaders and their explanations weren't really making sense. So I decided to do my own research basically on the origins of the faith. And I came across the Council of Nicaea, I think that's what it's called, Nicaea, whatever. And how prior to that council being called, I think by Constantine, prior to that being called, there were like different versions of what people describe Jesus Christ as. And some people said he was divine, some people said he wasn't divine. Without getting too much into this, I discovered things that were different from what I have been told growing up. And so that left me with a lot of questions. I was thinking to myself, okay, but like, this is interesting. I've never heard this before. And so that's kind of how like my quest for knowledge began. I started to research into a lot of other things as well. And I realized over time, now that we're in 2026, I have come a long way, but I've realized now that I actually don't have a clean belief, because sometimes I'm agnostic in the sense that there is no certainty to me that there is. So how I would categorize myself kinda is agnostic theist, in the sense that I think there is a God. I think highly likely probably there is, but I don't claim certainty of it. I don't say I'm 100% sure, because I don't think that any human being is 100% sure of anything spiritual, because it is subjective and not objective. And so it always comes from, people's experiences and how they see the world, rather than factual, empirical evidence. And so, yeah, again, without getting too much into it, that's sort of what my beliefs are. It's like there is a bit of uncertainty with a few things. But then again, I also think I actually care about human beings and how we live life and how we treat each other. And so most of my ethics, my values come from how can we treat each other well so that we can all live well. So in a way, you describe that as humanist, right? So I have like that humanist element going. And I don't have like a fixed view of things. I've never had a fixed view, because how can you grow and elevate and improve if you don't question things, and if you feel like, oh, your knowledge ends here, how are you going to understand things, and this is no knockdown on people who have arrived at a destination of what they believe and whatever. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. But for myself, I always want to do research about stuff. I want to learn from different people, and I want to have a very good understanding of things. And sometimes that would include my, that would include things changing, and my thoughts changing, my thoughts evolving into something else. I think that's just a natural part of life. And another thing I wanted to address is why uncertainty doesn't mean a lack of spirituality. Just because I am not 100% sure of anything, I don't think we're 100% certain of anything, as I said, but just because I'm not doesn't mean that I don't somewhat believe we have this like collective connection. In a way, I feel like human beings, we have a collective connection. At the heart of us as human beings, at the core, most human beings want to do good. Most human beings are geared towards trying to help each other, trying to work out how we can make life easier for each other. And I feel like we have that innately, most of us do, and it's about finding ways to bring that out or execute or action those qualities, so that we can all live healthily and well and comfortable in this life, and so that the next generation, they can have a planet, a place where they feel comfortable, where they feel they have resources, where they feel like we've left this place in a good condition than we had it, And so I think that is something that I connect to. Also, I was also going to get into what God means to me now. So at the moment, I think, again, it's that it means I think a lot of things to me, in the sense that for me, it means like my wise mind. So in wise mind is something that's commonly used in DBT to describe having a balanced view. So there's the logical side of us, there's the emotional side, and the wise mind is basically combining the two into one, which is more balanced than just being completely logical, completely emotional, and so I kind of think of it as the wise mind, and Quakers also describe this inner light that we have as human beings. I remember I was talking about that collectiveness that we have as human beings, that collective thing that draws us towards doing good, or to action these good qualities to make the world a better place. So these are things that, to me, I think embodies, I guess, God, or I don't know, honestly. I don't 100% know. All I know is there is maybe something guiding us towards being a good person, guiding us towards striving to do good for others. I think that is something that is collective in all of us. You can call that an inner light, I can see why it's called an inner light. I can resonate with that to an extent. I also sometimes think of it like my wise mind as well, which is like a balanced view of the logical, the emotional. I just have arrived at the destination that right now I am not 100% certain about anything, and it's okay to be in that position, because a lot of people, they want to tell you, oh no, you pick a side, do this, do that. No, sometimes the world is in black and white. Sometimes there's a gray area, and it's okay to be in that gray area. You're not going to be in there forever, or you might just end up being fine with being there. Like, it doesn't, me, what I believe is subjective to me and is personal to me. It shouldn't affect the way I treat others. It shouldn't affect the ethics, the values that I hold deep inside me. And if it does, then I need to look at myself and be like, what can I work on to be a better person in society, essentially. Sorry, I was just reading through something. Why I connect more with this inner light than traditional ideas of God. Because I just feel like it makes more sense to me, and I'm more convinced on that than the traditional all-knowing, all-loving, all-good, all-omniscient, omnipotent. I feel like now, at the stage that I'm in life, I kind of view it differently than before. And if I'm being honest, before, it just never fully 100% made sense, because I don't even want to get into that. I don't want to get into that argument. I try not to argue about or describe in detail other people's beliefs, because really and truly, I don't care what anyone believes in. I care about how they treat others, and if they are happy within themselves. Because some people are not unhappy believing things, forcing themselves to believe things that they don't truly believe. And I feel like, for me, the honest place that I can be in right now is be honest and say, I'm not 100% sure that I believe in this. I'm not 100% sure that I am there yet when it comes to that. And that's okay. And I guess how I found peace without having all the answers is, no one has all the answers. No human being has all the answers, because we weren't here in the beginning. We're not going to be here in the end, basically, of this world or this planet. We're not all going to be there. And so for me, I can only understand things that are proven to me, things that I can see, things that feel, things that convince me, and if I'm not convinced by something, I can't force myself to believe it. People always say, oh, belief is a choice. No, I don't think it is, because to believe in something, you have to be convinced that it's true. So if you're not convinced, you can't believe it. You don't, like, if I told you, oh, I need you to believe that Santa Claus exists, you're not going to think that he does exist, because you are not convinced. But then before, when we were younger, we were told about Santa Claus, you probably believed in him because that's what you were convinced by. As you get older, as you mature, you realize, actually, I'm not convinced by this, because you've seen proof to prove otherwise. Now, I'm not saying there's proof for God a certain way and the way God is, or all that. I don't know. That's why I said I am not certain about anything. And that's the most honest thing that I can do. I'm a very open-minded person, but also I'm a very honest person in terms of valuing the integrity of what I believe and what I don't believe. And that's basically what I wanted to talk about today. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you've wrestled with these sort of like realizations for yourself as well. And let me know what has helped you and any recommendations that you have. Thank you.